This leads to a doomsday device.
This path was marked on a map leading to the Magnemizer.
So this Magnemizer we're trying to find? I hope we know it when we see it.
Yeah. I think we will. These guys are kind of annoying because obviously they can put up the force fields around themselves, which makes killing them take less than 2 seconds, which is annoying. But anyway, yeah, this is the sludge station. This and the level after it are the parts of the game that, like, come up in my mind the most when I think of it. Like, whenever I'm talking about Rise of the Underminer, as I always am, you know, just in everyday conversation, I'm just, you know, like, this is just like in Incredibles Rise of the Underminer. But anyway, yeah, I always think of this level and the one that we're gonna be doing after it. Or at least, I think the one we're gonna be doing. The one with all the snow. And yeah, Mr. Incredible takes a minute, but he can use his super hands to pick up heavy things and do stuff. But yeah, this is this part, and it's like the rest of the game. You fight the robots. There are going to be stretches of this game that I'm not going to have much to say about, and I apologize for that. But that's also part of why I chose this game as a small LP to do, is because it won't take very long, and also I can just start rambling about shit, and you're not gonna miss out on any important plot points or anything like that. But the sludge station reminds me a lot. Or not, I mean, I guess not a whole lot, but for some reason it makes me think of sort of industrial settings in shows like How It's Made. And I don't know, I don't know what they were called. I don't know where I saw them, if they were, you know, I mean, there was a lot of things, whether it be on TV or the videos we would watch in class or whatever, but I really liked as a kid, like documentary videos sort of things that went behind the scenes of how things are made or how things are done. I mean, like, the show How It's Made is awesome. You know, and Unwrapped is a really good Food Network show about how they make different sweets and snacks. And I liked all that shit a lot as a kid, and I still do. I mean, I just don't know where to go to find stuff like that now. I'm sure there's YouTube channels that give good, you know, explanations of... It doesn't even need to be necessarily how things are made or anything mechanical or, like, factory made or anything like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be an industrial setting, but just... anything about sort of like background everyday life things and how they come about and like how they're managed is interesting to me, and it has been since a young age, and I feel like I had more access to them as a child, but I probably don't. You know, the internet probably gives me very much access to these things. Again, like, I know I could probably find, like, a YouTube video giving information about that kind of stuff, but there's just something about watching, like, older footage, specifically, of, like, you know, of someone doing the thing. I like to do that little move with the ice shit. This part's annoying because if you want to get rid of these things shooting at you, which would behoove you, considering if you don't get hit by all of them, then the AI character definitely will. But they're all at weird angles that you can't really freeze at. I wish that Frozone had more of an axis for his freezing ability, and he wasn't just confined to a straight line, but so you just kind of have to deal with it. I'm sure, you know, there's some super gamer guy who is really fucking good at this game. Ooh, I'm making Mr. Incredible frosty. yeah, but anyway. But yeah, that kind of stuff was always really interesting to me as a child, and I forget what they're called, but something that I have found on YouTube that kind of is in that vein that I'm thinking of is it's these old, from like the 80s and 90s, this old British show. This is gonna be the second video of this in a row that I'm gonna Google something, well, that I look something up while I'm in it. I'm just gonna type in a topic that I know that they have a video on. Well, while I'm looking for it, I'll say, there's an old British TV show that had, like, informational videos on early computer tests, early computer things, computer graphics. They have one specifically. Here it is, BritLab. That's what it was called. Tomorrow's World on BBC. It's from 1982. And yeah, specifically, there's one about, like, the compact disc when that was new. There's one about, the one that I just looked up is one about early computer graphics, like a three-dimensional cube and then a cylinder and then a globe in this old-ass computer. That shit's all cool. That's the kind of stuff that I wish I was just always watching on YouTube instead of, like, you know, just people talking about politics and movies. I mean, I love those things as well, but, you know, I have other interests. And just, like, dumb videos, you know, the ones that I am coming across all the time and whatnot. So here I tried to be cool, and it obviously didn't work. At least not for Frozone. Frozone got fucked. That was pretty awesome. Just dumped them both in the sludge there. But yeah, check those out if you want cool stuff. Early computer animation stuff is really cool and interesting to me. I don't know why, but there's just a vibe that early computer animation has to it, and it's just a really weird quality. It's at this strange middle ground between old and new art, because it's, like, obviously technologically quite advanced from, I guess, what you would maybe call older mediums of representing images. But it's also so rudimentary looking, and most of the, like, stories and things that they could get away with were pretty, like, bare bones at the time. But, like, you know, it was made in, you know, in the 80s and 90s, so when storytelling and visual ideas had already developed so much that, you know, there was still the capacity for sort of abstract ideas. Not that there wouldn't have been in an older... You know what I'm fucking saying. I hope I'm making any sense. I think it's neat, okay? Jesus Christ. Stop fucking badgering me. I just imagine everyone yelling at me during all of my videos, if that wasn't clear. I just imagine everyone turns on, like, willingly, like, sees me in their subscriptions, and willingly clicks on it, like, alright, time to watch the new Tim video, and the whole time is just, like, screaming at the screen, like, shut the fuck up, oh my god, Tim, shut up. It's like, I came here to hear, Mr. Incredible and Frozone's quips. Well, too fucking bad. I'm gonna take a quick poll. Like, 2 people are gonna answer, but I am curious. Do I swear too much? That seems like a weird question, because on the one hand, obviously, like, I don't care, and none of my viewers really care, and I'm not asking because, you know, I'm clutching my pearls at my language sometimes, or whatever, but, no, just, like, I don't want to call it from an aesthetic standpoint, but just like, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking like maybe I'll do it less, because I don't know, I'm not necessarily trying to make my LP content more like accessible to children or whatever, and I certainly don't want to have to limit like the subject matter that I can talk about, because that would just make it boring for me and tedious. But I don't know. I feel like it can be aggressive. That's the only thing. It can be aggressive sometimes when it's all the time. And it can make I think it can make me seem pissed off, and oh yeah, I forgot about Mr. Incredible being absolutely incredible. And look at this. Look at this super heroism. Look at this agility. Come on, Bob, you fucking nut. Going senile on me. See, in those scenarios, you know, cursing is completely called for because Bob is being a fucking nut, so... Anyway, that was a completely pointless tangent to go on. I don't actually care about any of that, but sometimes I think about it. Sometimes... Like, I watch that one person on YouTube, it's like a grandmother plays Skyrim and stuff. I don't really actually watch her videos all that often, but because she doesn't comment, she doesn't say all that much in a lot of them. But I do think it's nice that she exists, and I am subscribed to her just because seeing what she's doing makes me feel good. I'm like, oh, I'm glad she's... Oh, she is going on a trip? Good for her. But, you know, sometimes I aspire to be her. Sometimes I want to be an old person playing video games and just, you know, putting out videos of it to the internet and not really worrying about stuff. And I mean, that's what I feel like right now, minus the worrying part. So it would just be, like, not that big of a change, but a substantial upgrade for me. But... whatever, in the meantime, I guess it's okay to be a young boy putting up videos of me playing video games to people on the internet and just having pleasant chats about my day. I mean, that's what it feels like to me. I am just sitting at my desk and speaking. That was loud as shit. Unnecessary. I need to drink water. Everyone does. Shout out to water. I really shit the bed on this one. I didn't get the big smash, extra cool thing, whatever. The reason that I do Let's Plays is because I'm so good at talking.
And just when I was getting warmed up.
Hey, Bob, I think we found the Underminer.
Oh, now that's an impressive doomsday device.
That looks dangerous.
We better pick up the pace to get the...
I am the guardian of the magic, protector of the
Modern platforming games love lasers. I don't know if they still do, but a lot of the licensed games and platforming games for like this console generation and the one after it that I played as a kid, lasers were a big motif, like motion sensing lasers that if you... and regular like zap kill you lasers were both very common recurring things in the games that I played. And I don't know why. I guess it's just the choice of settings. I feel like a lot of the things, a lot of the media I consumed had, like, things where, like, security systems and robots and stuff were all, like, big parts of it. And I'm just... And it's so weird to think, because to me, all of these games, and I can't name them because I have donkey brain right now, but all of these things, there isn't much really linking them all together except for those things. So I'm just wondering, like, why I'm part of the thing that interests me about playing these games that I played as a kid is trying to see what if anything are the common things that drew me to them, and like, you know, what things are similar across them and why those things particularly. And I mean, I guess those aren't particularly useful questions, but they are ones that I think are interesting, and who cares about literally anyone else's opinion but mine? That's my perspective, at least.
That ground doesn't look stable.
So,
Talk to me about stable. We're dealing with deranged lunatics.
this is the snow level. This is the other one that I said was the one that I, like, think about the most when I think of this game. And the boss. Spoilers, there's a boss later on. And this stage is a little bit longer than I thought it would be. And I didn't mean... This video is going to be coming out to about 25 minutes, and I didn't really mean for it to be that long. These things are a bitch because sometimes... Well, sometimes their things will get stuck in there and you just can't get them. And then there's also angles where the little target thing doesn't come up, so you need to wait for them to move, and it's just all like, why can't you pick that up? I don't understand. It's all just unnecessarily complicated by the physics of the game. I understand it. I don't even think you need to kill those guys, but I did it. I wasted all my time doing it anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, I wanted a good splitting place for the video, and again, this is why this game would have been good for the 11-minute time limit, because this roughly, if I'm not dicking around too much, it's about how long it takes. Like, maybe with editing I could get each one to around 11 minutes. But I don't know. And I mean, I'm not gonna self-impose that on myself now. That would be fun to do, like... I mean, it would fuck up a ton of people and everyone would hate it, but like for April Fools or something, YouTube should just be... They should go back to old YouTube. They should do the old layout. I mean, actually, they may not do that, because then they'll realize that the old one is so much less of an eyesore and actually fucking makes sense as a layout. And so they won't want to do it because people want to go back to that and not the shit-ass one they have now. I like, and don't get me wrong, lots of websites looked like utter garbage in the mid-2000s, but I don't know, I feel like every website... First of all, every website feels like everything, the design of everything now, where it's all like really colorful and like childish and sleek, and childish makes it sound like I'm like, I need manly colors on my, you know, public buildings and shit, but no, it's just the fact that it all looks like a fucking daycare, if that makes any sense. I don't really know how else to explain that, but just everything looks like you're still in elementary school, and you know, when you're signing up for fucking health insurance, because we have to make every droll aspect of your everyday life, like, as, I don't know, manufactured, I guess, as possible. I'm going on a lot of very strange, hot takes and tangents right now in this video. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to do with this at the moment. But I hope you feel me to some degree. I don't really know where I was going with all of that. I think I'm just gonna stop. I'll talk about another thing. This is a little bit more appropriate because it's a Incredibles thing, but we got a Disney Plus account, me and my girlfriend. We were gonna go see Frozen 2 because I wanted to review it, and she wanted to see it, but she had never seen the original Frozen, and I don't have it or anything. And we knew that we wanted to do it when December started anyway, and we were going to see Frozen like 2 seconds before December, so we were like, okay, might as well just do it now. And we watched the first Frozen, and then the next day we saw the second one, and now we have Disney Plus, and we haven't delved into any of the original content yet. I would like to. I want to check out The Mandalorian, not because I think it's going to be awesome, but just because I want to have an actual opinion on it that's based on having watched it and not just shit that I've heard and seen about it. And some of their other stuff that is, you know, new to it sounds like it could be interesting. But mostly we've been watching all of the old Disney animated movies, which all slap and are the main reason I was excited for it. The Disney Channel shows of the 2000s, the other reason I was excited for it, although Liv pointed out that it really just makes me want all the Nickelodeon shows on, because, you know, you need... Disney Channel was a good palate cleanser as a kid, but you needed the Nickelodeons, and you needed your Cartoon Networks, and, you know, you needed that part of it. Because, I mean, Disney Channel entertainment is just as mindless, and maybe actually, like, worse for your brain, like, for your development, but, I don't know how deep I really have formulated that, how deeply I've formulated that theory, but, I guess we're gonna get that because Netflix and Nickelodeon started a deal now where, you know, they're gonna... I'm assuming put all of the old shows on there, but mainly about making new content, which of course there's going to be like 2 original shows, probably for fucking babies, and then a bunch of reboots and remakes of everything that you've already seen, including 2 SpongeBob spin-offs, which Steven Hillenburg was adamant about not happening while he was alive, and so, you know, now they can, so now they're doing 2. And, yeah, I don't know. They better at least have all of the ones, because let me tell you, the most disappointing thing about Disney Plus was that there's so many that they don't have fucking Cory in the House on there. What's the point? Like... how are you even gonna... how am I supposed to educate my children about the legacy of the Walt Disney Company without fucking Cory in the House? The most important show they've ever made. I don't know what to do with this. They don't have American Dragon Jake Long. They don't have The Weekenders. None of that shit. They don't have, that one, it's like Pookie or something. It's the one with it's like the Japanese cartoon with the little girl, and she like chases the boy and he's a ninja and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they could do that. Like, that one's more of just like a random one off the top of my head that I think would be cool. But the other ones, especially Cory in the House, like, what the fuck? You own it. Like, what is the point of this artificial scarcity? What are you gaining from keeping this from me? Well, just put it up there. Just get everything. You own everything. Give me all of it. If you're gonna have everything, at least make it all accessible. That's what I don't understand about, like, Warner Media has access to all these fucking old classic movies, and that's how they had, you know, Turner Classic Movies and stuff. And they're all selective about which ones get to stay on there. And it's like, what is the point of owning all of these things? Well, the real point is to maximize the profit you make from it, which is why they make the artificial scarcity, but that's dog shit. I hate it. See you next time.